Now, if one takes the graph of the baby boom population, the demographics of live births added to that with immigration to the United States, and moves that graph forward 49 years into a graph that would show the spending of the population according to the demographics for each stage of the population as it spends and how much it spends, what we would see is a spending curve of the United States. Okay? So I'm going to show you another graph in just a second which shows the baby boom population, that is, the numbers of people, move forward 49 years, which now represents the actual spending of the population because of the time lag effects in spending, as we have just described from one of the earlier graphs, as change in spending at each age of the population. Now, if we take that graph, which I'm going to show you in just a second, and lay on top of that the best performance we can get of the economy of the United States, either the Dow Jones Industrial Average or Standard & Poor's 500 Index, what we see is a remarkable graphic overlay and congruency. Take a look. The brown background is the baby boom generation, moved forward approximately 48 years, remember now, into the peak spending of the population. And it's compared with the Dow Jones Industrial Average to gauge the economic growth of the United States. The match is not perfect, but is extremely interesting. Why? Because of the congruency, showing that people power the economy through their spending. And the spending peaked between 1996 and 2010. But what happens is now that we're about to move into the next decade, 2010 to 2020, and all the way to 2026, we see a dearth of spending and a decline in the Dow Jones Industrial Average. So what we have, folks, is a decline in spending because of demographics. There's also other issues that have happened, like the subprime meltdown, bank failures, foreign wars, and a defense budget of over $50 billion, too much credit card debt from the Americans. All of those are factors, but the main factor is the demographics and the spending wave, which is what we call this last graph, showing that there's going to be a dearth in spending compared to what it's been over the last 25 to 30 years when the baby boom moved through their peak spending years. Now they're moving into their retirement years, starting this year and extending for another 20 years to 25 years, when America is going to be on their heels. They're going to continue with stimulus programs, which are going to be marginally successful. The Dow is going to drop between, it is 12,000 right now, and I see it dropping down to 6,000, 5,000, 4,000 before this trough is ended. There will be a shakeout of many firms that are not up to speed, but many of the firms in the early days, like IBM and General Motors, are going to be distilled during this period, and they're going to come out even stronger than before. So it's a time of belt tightening. It's a time of reducing debt. It's a time of staying with an individual's job. It's a time of putting retirement off somewhat, and it's a time of less spending and an increasing opportunity for savings, and as we wait this great recession out. Thank you.